Hello everybody, this is Mr. Madeje from Goldsbridge Secondary School. I hope you are doing well. Today I want to share with you one topic in physics called thermionic emission. But before starting, here are some useful information or contact which you can use to communicate with Goldsbridge Secondary School administration. We have a postal address, we have a telephone number, we have an email address, we have a website which you can pass through to see the service provided by Goldsbridge Development Foundation Institute. Now let's get started. What is thermionic emission? Thermionic emission is the discharge of electron from a heated material. If you have a material and then you heat, there is the release of electron from that material. Because electrons are emitted in bundles, it means in numbers. Those large number of electrons now can call rays, and finally we get cathode rays because those rays come from cathode electron. So now what is cathode rays? Cathode rays, or sometimes called electron beam or E-beam, are the stream of electrons observed in a vacuum tube. As we can see here we have a tube, and here we have a cathode, and here we have an anode. Here we have the source of electricity. After this, electricity hit the cathode, this cathode get heat, and the electron get moved from the cathode to the anode. And this movement of the electrons, as we see here, it seems like a rays, and this is called the cathode rays. Now, how cathode rays are produced? When the cathode is heated, electrons are produced in a cathode ray tube by thermionic emission. The electrons are accelerated to the screen by the anode connected to the extra high tension battery. The beam of electrons are called cathode rays. The tube is evacuated to prevent electrons from interacting with any other particles. When the cathode rays hit the screen tends to grow. Let's look here. Here we have this screen. Here we have the cathode electrode, and here we have anode electrode. Once you apply electrode, it was converted into heat, and this heat tended to move the electron from the cathode and go to the anode, because the anode is positive, so tended to accelerate electron to the fluorescent screen. This screen, after this cathode ray hit this screen, this tended to grow. Now let's look at the property of cathode rays. Cathode rays, they are negative charge because come from the cathode, so these are the negative charged particles. They can be deflected by both magnetic and electric field. Since it is negative, it has an effect in both magnetic and electric field. They can travel in a straight line, as you have already seen, they are moving in a straight line. They can cause certain substances to go. Once this cathode ray hit the fluorescent screen, they tend to emit light. So that fluorescent screen tend to grow. They affect the photographic plate. Once they interact with the plates, they tend to affect that plate. When cathode rays are suddenly stopped, they produce X-ray. Once these cathode rays are moving and suddenly they stop, they tend to lose energy and form other rays, which is called cathode rays. Now let's look at the ray tube. Is the display screen which produces an image in the form of the video signals. It is a type of vacuum tube which displays image when electron beam through electron guns are struck on the phosphorescent surface. Here we are talking about tubes, the tubes which use cathode rays. So if the cathode rays moving in this tube and hit the fluorescent screen of the cathode ray tube, that cathode ray tube tended to emit or tended to grow, but the light seen in the cathode ray tube form a video signals. The image may be represented electrical wave, which is oscilloscope, or picture. So once these rays hit the cathode ray tube, the tube tended to emit the image, picture, as you can see in television, computer monitor. But sometimes it cannot show a picture, it can show some certain wave. Let's look here. This one is the internal part of cathode ray tube, and this one is what happens when the cathode rays hit this fluorescent screen. So electrons from the cathode are accelerated by using deflection coil, and they tend to hit. Once hit this screen, they tend to emit the image. Here you can see the image. Now let's look another part which is called cathode ray oscilloscope with a type of electronic test that graphically display a varying signal voltage usual as a two-dimensional plot of one or more signal as a function of time. Here we are talking about the cathode ray oscilloscope. This uses the application of cathode ray tube. It means the cathode ray oscilloscope tended to show the output in terms of varying signals. These signals are varying in amplitude way or frequency. Now in cathode ray tube, we are getting oscillations of our information. We are not getting maybe a picture, no. We are getting an information in terms of amplitude or frequency. We are seeing the variation of those information. As you can see here, this is the cathode ray oscilloscope, internal part, and this is the what you can see. Here, there is a source of sound. This sound converted into electrical form, and this cathode ray show these variations of energy here in terms of what? Of amplitude, variation of amplitude. The intensity is varying. So as the time goes on, maybe the energy will decrease or increase, but this variation of what is happening here can be seen in terms of amplitude or frequency. We have three parts in the cathode ray tube, cathode ray oscilloscope. The first part is electron gun, the second part is the deflection system, and the last part is the fluorescent screen. So now it is consisted in electron gun. In electron gun, we have two parts. We have the cathode and we have the grid. The main function of cathode is to emit electron, and the main function of grid is to control the number of electrons to reach the screen. But in deflection system, once the electron emitted from the metal, the electron gun, they should be deflected. But how they can be deflected? You have two ways of deflecting these electrons. Maybe horizontally or vertically. Here we get Y plate and X plate. Y deflecting plate, this move the beam up and down, vertical motion of the beams. But X plate move the beam side to side, horizontal. But the last part, after movement of these beams, either vertically or downward, it might reach to the last part of this fluorescent screen. This glow when the electron beam hit it. Now the use of cathode ray. But before you see the use of cathode ray, let's see these parts in the diagram. Here the first part, we have C cathode, which emit electron, this control number of electrons. We have this second part, which is called deflection system. Here we have vertical deflection plates, and here we have horizontal deflection plate. And the last part, this is the fluorescent screen. Here we can see our image in terms of waveform, and sometimes we can see our image in terms of picture. Now let's see the uses. Cathode ray oscilloscope have a variety of uses. Can be used in science, medicine, engineering, automotive, and telecommunication. In medicine, you can see in the hospital when you go to measure your body pressure, or sometime a heartbeat, you can see the machine which show the variation of your heartbeat or variation of pressure according to the time. And in engineering, you can use it to measure the voltage of a certain material, and so on. But let's go to the X-ray. X-ray is a form of electromagnetic radiation. This is the amount of the electromagnetic radiation. The amount of the radiation does not require material media for propagation. X-ray can be produced by using X-ray tube. Here we have X-ray production. X-ray produced when fast moving electron are suddenly stopped by a metal target. As we can see here, here we have the we have the cathode, and here we have the metal target. Electron from the cathode, after getting heated, they tend to move from this cathode part to the metal target. After reaching this metal target, it tends to lose energy. After losing energy, this electron passes through this window as a rays, and these rays we can call them X-rays. We have two types of X-ray. We have hard X-ray and soft X-ray. Hard X-ray is the type of X-ray which have a shorter wavelengths, high energy, and high penetrating power. But soft X-ray are the type of X-ray which have longer wavelengths, lower energy, and less penetrating power. This we can see, this hard X-ray we can see in industry for detecting the internal parts of metals, but this soft X-ray we can see in hospital to see the internal part of the human body. Property of X-ray, we have a lot of property here. Some where they travel in straight line, they are not affected by electrical magnetic field because X-ray have no charge. It means have no effect in both electrical or magnetic field. They cause fluorescent in certain substance. Once it is a certain fluorescent material, that material tending to glow. They can affect photographic papers. once interact with the photographic paper, they tend to affect. But they ionize gases, causing the gases to conduct electricity. Once interact with gas, the gas can be ionized. It can conduct what? Electricity. Here I have a difference between hard X-ray and soft X-ray. Hard X-ray, they have shorter wavelengths, as we have already seen, but soft X-ray, they have longer wavelengths. In hard X-ray, they have higher energy, but in soft, you have less energy. In hard X-ray, we have high penetrating power, but soft X-ray have low penetrating power. Hard X-ray are produced by high air accelerating potential, but soft X-ray can be produced by low accelerating potential. But the last one is hard X-ray have higher velocity compared to the soft X-ray, which have low velocity. So these are the difference between these two types of X-ray, which is hard X-ray and the soft X-ray. Now, what are the applications of X-ray in your daily life? Application of X-ray in your daily life we can see in hospital. In hospital, we can use to take the photograph of internal part of a human body, for example, bones. If we get the fracture of the bones, so by using X-ray, we can see that fracture by using X-rays. But this can be used also in treatment of malignant growth. In hospital, if maybe a cancer disease, X-ray can be used as a treatment. But the second one, to detect the cracks in metal in factory. If the internal part of the metal have the fracture, so we can use hard X-ray to detect the internal part of that metal. But also to study the crystal structure diffraction. If you have a material and you want to see or to know how the internal structure arranged and how the diffraction can be occur, so X-ray can be used. But the last one can be used to detect the forgeries in bank checks. So if you go to the banks and you have the check, so X-rays can be used to detect if your document or your check is not fake check. So effect of X-ray. We have effect of X-ray. Long exposure to X-ray is harmful to body tissue. X-ray can kill body cells. So avoid that exposure. If you can be exposed to the X-ray for a long time, can affect your body tissue. It is harmful. Your body tissue can be affected, and X-ray can also kill your body cell. So what is the precaution? So we have a precaution. X-ray tube should always be encased with high density material such as the lead, with only small window left to allow restricted beam. So if we are using the X-ray, make sure your X-ray have been encased, have been covered with something, or marine material, to avoid the spread of the X-ray to other parts, because we know these rays are very harmful to body. So try to encase or try to make the environment safe to avoid the spread of this X-ray to other people. Now we have come to the end of our lecture. Here we have an exercise. We have 6 questions. This question, once you pass through them, it can remind you what you have been learned. So try to attempt them. It can make you have a confidence with what you have learned. So these questions are so important, and if you pass through them effectively, it can make you understand what you have been learned. So thank you very much for your watching. Here we can meet in the next lesson, if God wish, to avoid this corona disease. May I advise you to stay at home, to avoid unnecessary movement, and follow all instructions given to our technician concerning how to avoid this disease. Have a nice moment.